So, when it comes to Smash, there are typically 3 ways players will face off. Singles, which consists of 2 players engaging in a one-on-one battle. Doubles, which consists of 4 players engaging in a 2-on-2 battle. And finally, the crew battle, which consists of 2 teams of many players who face off in a series of one-on-ones until one team has no players remaining. Now today I've got a story about a crew battle for you, and I think it's a pretty interesting one. Today I'm going to be telling you about an event that is simultaneously both the strangest and also one of the greatest that Smash has ever seen. So way back in 2016, a crew battle occurred within the Arizona Project M community, but this one was different. Now crew battles are not a commonly done thing. Due to the amount of coordination and planning they require from so many people, they're typically a large event, and there's usually some sort of big underlying reason for having one, such as a long-standing regional rivalry. However, this crew battle occurred because of possibly the greatest reason for a crew battle ever. This crew battle occurred over a long-standing argument that split the entire Arizona Project M community in half, over which restaurant was better, IHOP or Denny's. Now, as ridiculous as this sounds, it gets even better. Firstly, in case you didn't already know, Project M, or PM for short, was a fan-made mod of Super Smash Bros. Brawl made by a talented group of Brawl modders. We sought to make Brawl more competitive and more akin to a successor of Melee. They succeeded, with the mod gaining mass popularity in 2014. But as expected, since this is an actual creative and interesting mod of their game that people enjoyed, Daddy Nintendo wasn't too happy, and Nintendo has done countless things over the years in efforts to kill PM entirely, with it essentially now considered to be an outcast game in comparison to Melee or Ultimate as a result. So with no need or desire to satisfy Nintendo or any huge corporate sponsors, the remaining PM communities and players have a lot of freedom and can be interesting, to say the least. And this crew battle, in my opinion, is a perfect representation of that. But still, the obvious question is, why? How did this crew battle actually even come about? Well, Arizona has always been one of the strongest communities for PM. And for many scenes, it's extremely common procedure after a tournament for players to head out to a late-night restaurant. But in Arizona in particular, there was a constant heated debate every single week about whether to go to IHOP or Denny's. It ended up becoming so passionate and was so constantly discussed that it essentially became a rite of passage for every player in Arizona to pledge allegiance to either IHOP or Denny's, with one half of the players choosing IHOP and the other half choosing Denny's, with massive trash talk from both sides towards the other being pretty much the norm. Now, as a non-American myself, when I first heard about this, I was surprised to learn that this is apparently not that uncommon of a debate, even making it onto an episode of The Office.
We meet at the Denny's and we compare notes.
No, I never said Denny's, IHOP.
No,
IHOP.
I said Denny. You know how I feel about IHOP.
Just that in the AZPM scene, this debate was cranked up to the max.
Clear out that bile. Shout outs to bad food.
That's right. That's the Denny's.
Oh wow, we don't mention that
We
here.
don't mention Denny's here in Tucson. If you're ever in Tucson, you're going to IHOP. Don't ask us about Denny's.
It had been brewing for years and years, and eventually FingerStripes, a leader of the AZPM scene, suggested they have a crew battle to finally decide which one truly was better. Both sides were determined to get to the bottom of it, so they agreed. 2 teams were quickly constructed consisting of the very best AZ had to offer, and instantly, the crew battle had massive hype behind it. FingerStripes, in preparation for the crew battle, then spent weeks creating hype trailers, custom modded, insanely detailed IHOP and Denny's costumes for each competitor, and the matches would be played on custom IHOP and Denny's stages. Now this is already insane, but it gets even better. With PM having such a tightly knit community, news of the crew battle spread like wildfire, with many members of the PM community posting support for their favorite side.
Denny's is a better restaurant than IHOP on a variety of metrics.
Denny's or IHOP? IHOP is the house of pancakes. IHOP over Denny's, any day.
And some top PM players even offered to come out to Arizona and join the crew battle in support of their preferred side, leading to Sosa joining Team Denny's and iPunchKids joining Team IHOP. iPunchKids was specifically brought in to replace Blue, the current #1 ranked player in Arizona, and Team IHOP member who was forced to drop out of the crew battle after he had ironically suffered food poisoning from a Denny's after the last weekly tournament. These 2 final additions led to the finalized teams, 2 sets of 7 players that were both extremely stacked and extremely evenly matched. Team Denny's consisted of I Love Bagels, arguably the best Luigi player in the world at the time, Cloudburst, one of the best Squirtles in PM history. Heyseuss, best DDD player in AZ, top tier strategist, and Denny's team captain.
Show me a move.
Cobra, one of the best Falcon players in AZ. Softy, master of Diddy Kong, who had just switched to Wolf. Casino Wolf, one of the best Mewtwo players in the world. And finally, the aforementioned Sosa from SoCal. He is widely considered to be one of the top 3 Project M players of all time. Now as for Team IHOP, they consisted of Neon, one of the best players in the world in early PM. The aforementioned iPunch Kids, best Lucaria player in the world. Chip, AZ's best Kirby player. Kitten, the best Ice Climbers player in AZ. CutMet, IHOP's team captain, master tactician and top Wario player in AZ. Nate Senpai, the best Deaths in AZ. And finally, Silly Kyle, the definition of a hidden boss. Considered AZ's best player but was unranked at the time of the crew battle due to inactivity. And one of my personal favorite plot twists about all of this was the fact that Neon from Team IHOP and Cobra from Team Denny's were actually brothers, who both saw it as their duty to eliminate the other, with Cobra outright saying before the crew battle, "Give me Neon. He's my blood, he's my responsibility." Now that everything was finally set for the crew battle, on June 4th, 2016, the crew battle began. Both teams started out with 28 stocks total, giving every player 4 stocks each. Denny's opened with Heyseuss as their lead, with IHOP choosing to lead with Chip. The crew battle immediately was very reminiscent of something you would see back in the early grassroots era of Smash, with massive hype, trash talk, and chaotic commentary, with there always being one Team IHOP and one Team Denny's member on the mic at all times.
You guys said in Chip first?
Why wouldn't we send in
This
Chip
matchup is canonically like...
The
Dude.
fuck do you mean it's canonically impossible? Kirby beats the shit out of King DDD.
Yeah, not in the anime though. Dude, King DDD is a successful person.
What the
He's a
hell? No, he's
successful
not.
King. Dude, King DDD
It's all the dude on the monitor, dude.
all the IHOPs in the world and close them down. Turn them into Denny's.
That's a terrible fucking business plot.
The choice to lead with Chip backfired horribly for Team IHOP, as Chip struggled massively to get into damage Heyseuss, with Heyseuss patiently walling Chip out with Gordos and his huge range advantage. It also didn't help that both players had an extremely hard time edge guarding each other, which meant Chip was unable to gimp Heyseuss.
Damn, this is fucking free. Let's go. Fuck. Oh.
Finally, Heyseuss ended up clutching the final stock to leave Team Denny's up 2 stocks.
Yo, Team Denny's has clutch.
IHOP then chose to send in iPunch Kids, who had an extremely favorable matchup on Heyseuss, and it worked out perfectly on the first stock.
Still keeps him out.
Oh, fuck!
However, on the second stock, iPunch Kids made a huge error and got blasted with an F smash from Heyseuss.
Oh, let's go! Dropping hammer like Denny's drops prices. Let's go.
What the fuck?
But he managed to bounce back and take Heyseuss' next stock almost unscathed.
Oh, let's go!
Denny's then sent in Cloudburst, which proved to be an extremely good choice, as he was incredibly difficult for iPunch Kids to deal with. Starting out with a massive turnaround gimp on his first stock.
Oh shit, let's fucking go. Oh, damn.
What the fuck?
And dominating the entire game without much issue.
Fucking David, he's afraid to go in. Let's go. Oh shit!
He managed to finish off iPunch Kids' last stock at 0% with 2 stocks still remaining.
Who the fuck?
Oh shit! It happened again!
All fucking luck.
Happened again!
All fucking luck.
IHOP then sent in Nate Senpai, and the pick didn't look terrible. He started off by getting killed into a BM taunt by Cloud.
Woo! Yo, take it down to Space Mountain!
But succeeded at getting a kill into a taunt back immediately as revenge.
No.
Nate Senpai had an opportunity to close the game out with an edge guard right after,
Yo.
but he missed it, which he would go on to massively regret, as Cloud proceeded to take his second stock, and then pull off an absolutely filthy footstool gimp on his next one.
Oh shit. Oh my god. Holy shit. That was
guys
actually
see that
crazy.
shit?
Nate Senpai was at massive risk of losing all of his stocks to Cloud, but he managed to clutch the last stock situation to redeem himself somewhat.
Oh my
Can't
God.
get one fucking kill.
Just trying to make it interesting. He's just trying to make it interesting.
Denny's then sent in Softy,
All right, let's go.
who got completely bodied on the first stock.
There it is. Easy money, easy money.
And almost lost his second one.
There we go, there we go. Here we go.
But managed to maintain his composure and clutch out Nate Senpai's final stock, only losing one of his own.
Are you even in the crew battle?
I'm just saying, this ain't no Jiffy Cat.
Let's go, Ryan.
Softy then got counterpicked extremely hard when Team IHOP sent in Kitten. Kitten completely controlled the entire game,
Yo, it's back season, my man.
taking 2 of Softy's stocks while only losing one of his own. Finally ending up with a high percent Softy on his last stock versus Kitten with just his Sopo, which Kitten managed to clutch out. Denny sent in Cobra in an attempt to counterpick Kitten's Ice Climbers, but this appeared to backfire horribly right away, as Kitten immediately 0 to death comboed Cobra.
I was told I can't.
And looked as though he was going to get another one right away.
Fucking.
Which thankfully for Team Denny's, he ended up dropping. Cobra bounced back and took Kitten's next stock after isolating him to his Sopo. They traded stocks, but the game ended unexpectedly when Kitten sadly SD'd his last stock.
Fuck. Yo, hit him in the. Oh shit! This fucker sucks. What a horrible fucking choice.
The next pick was obvious. IHOP sent in Neon. The brothers would finally have a crack at each other. Cobra completely bodied Neon right off the bat, taking Neon's first stock in the first 20 seconds.
He's gonna fucking scream Oni-chan by the time this is fucking over.
Let's fucking go. We got a Sperling brother battle. Oh, there we go, Cobra. There we go. Take another.
That was fucking luck.
Another.
That was all fucking luck.
And then taking his next one soon after.
Oh, baby. Let's go, Cobra.
Neon managed to redeem himself though,
Cobra is literally accelerating before our eyes.
taking Cobra's final 2 stocks back to back.
That was good.
Let's fucking go.
Leaving the brothers even with 2 stocks taken off of each other each. Denny's then sent in Sosa, who lost his first stock after a failed recovery.
Oh, the tech. Fucking. Oh, shit.
Yeah!
That was okay. That was okay.
But bounced back and ended up taking both of Neon's remaining stocks without much issue.
Oh, here it comes.
Oh, he couldn't hold it. All that fucking Denny's with the indigestion.
Oh, hey, your boy just died out the side.
It was all fucking luck.
What?
IHOP were now down to 2 players, CutMet and Silly Kyle. They opted to send in CutMet for the Wario Ditto. CutMet is known for being an extremely calm player in high-stress situations, so they opted to send him in for the toughest player in the crew battle. After struggling for the first stock, he managed to take Sosa's stock right back.
Oh, sick.
Sosa answered by taking CutMet's 3rd stock,
Oh, the sneaky back air.
but immediately SD'd right after, leaving him to his final stock.
Hey, everybody needs some charity a little once in a while.
Sosa continued racking up damage and looked poised to take CutMet's next stock before CutMet caught him massively off guard with a down B to eliminate Sosa entirely.
Oh, let's go.
This was a huge upset. Denny's were now down to Casino Wolf and I Love Bagels, so they opted to send in I Love Bagels. He managed to take out CutMet's first stock at high percent.
There we go, Gio!
And racked up a ton of damage to CutMet's next one before he was finally finished off. Making it extremely easy for him to take CutMet's final stock with a Shoryuken.
There we go.
IHOP were now down to just their anchor, Silly Kyle. Silly Kyle came in and absolutely dominated I Love Bagels, constantly forcing him off stage and into bad positions, while barely taking any damage himself.
Oh! Fuck him up!
Both players ended up at high percents with Bagels on his last stock and Kyle with 3 stocks remaining, but Kyle managed to clutch it out.
Oh!
Aye, okay.
So this was it. With only Casino Wolf remaining for Team Denny's, both teams were down to their last player. Team Denny's had specifically saved Casino Wolf to counter Silly Kyle, as the last time they had played, Casino Wolf beat Silly Kyle 3-0. This single match was going to be the final decider of which restaurant was better, IHOP or Denny's. Kyle started the game off with some Armada level turnip luck, pulling a beam sword,
Oh! The Empire Strikes Back!
which he made great use of, into a Stitch Face, which missed,
He got a fucking stitch right after, dude. The breakfast gods want fucking Silly Kyle to win.
into a Mr. Saturn. A casual 1 in 5.3 million chance. Despite this, the two players were both evenly matched, with them trading the first stocks of the game.
You know you can return merchandise to a grocery store. Yeah! How fucking dead!
Kyle then pulled another Stitch, which landed,
Oh!
with Casino Wolf barely surviving. Casino Wolf's survivability was insane this stock, with him almost dying and surviving 5+ times. But Kyle eventually did manage to take his next stock. Casino Wolf then managed to come back and take Kyle's second last stock after taking a bit of damage, leaving Kyle and Team IHOP to their final stock.
Yeah! Alright, unsafe dash attack.
It was incredibly close, with both players playing extremely patiently, and Casino Wolf managed to rack up some damage on Kyle, but Kyle eventually managed to take Casino Wolf's second last stock. So this was it. With both players on their final stock, everything was on the line.
Alright, Silly Kyle with a quick nair out of shield. It is last stock, Denny's versus IHOP. Silly Kyle at 87%. Casino Wolf on a fresh stock. Let's see him. IHOP! Denny! IHOP! IHOP! Denny! Let's fucking go! Silly Kyle gave Casino with 2 off-stage turnips. That was crazy. Unfortunately, IHOP wins. Fuck! I'm leaving.
After IHOP's triumphant victory, everyone headed to the nearest IHOP for the obligatory celebratory meal, with every Denny's player forced to come along. Depending on who you ask, this was either the worst meal of their life or the greatest.
Congratulations!
IHOP